Persuasive speech time. There's the dog, of course. And we got 5 people in our audience today. You get to hold that. So today I'm going to talk about the Electoral College. During the 2016 election, the candidate with the least amount of votes wins. Same thing happened in 2000. In fact, it's happened 5 times in our nation's history. The winner is the loser is the winner. Do you think it's fair? Well, a lot of people don't think it's fair. The majority of Americans, 55% in the most recent 2019 Gallup poll, said that they would do away with the Electoral College in favor of the popular vote. A lot of the politicians do not think it's fair, and also some of those running for office in 2020 do not think it's fair. Senator Elizabeth Warren, she says, my view is that every vote matters, and the way we can make that happen is that we can have national voting, and that means get rid of the Electoral College. Now you may think I'm going to pile on and slam the Electoral College, but I'm actually going to defend the Electoral College. Because I think that our founding fathers, when they set up the system for our country, did it with a lot of wisdom and foresight. And I'm going to explain to you why, and hopefully persuade you to change your mind, and also tell you about an effort to undermine the college and what you should do about that. Alright, so I want to talk about a couple of things that our nation is, and it's relevant to how the Electoral College is formed. We are a federal republic, and we are not a direct democracy. Well, federal republic, what is that exactly? Well, we're a federation of 50 states, 50 individual states under one banner, our country. Now, you may notice that not all these states think alike. Not all these states do the same things, have the same ideas, different cultures, different peoples, different ideas, and different problems, unique challenges, and unique needs. Well, the Electoral College takes that system in account. I'm going to show you a couple of different elections. I'm not going to tell you who or which party is which because that's really not relevant. But I want to show you this election here. One party is in the blue, the other party is in the red. Now this is broken down into counties, and this is broken down into states. Now as we see here, the widest distribution of voters across the country voted for what color? They voted blue. You see some areas where there is red. Well, this particular candidate had the widest distribution of votes across the country, also had the popular vote, and easily won this election. Different election. Another election here. We see that the widest distribution of votes is red, and we see some blue. Now you might be surprised that the red candidate in this election actually lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. Now how is that possible? Well, it's possible because the population centers where the most clusters of people live are like in LA, Chicago, New York, parts of Texas, you see Washington State, Florida. So all of this outvoted all of the red. The candidate in this election won 30 states to 20 and also won 2,600 counties as opposed to 487 counties by the blue candidate. Yet, if we would have went by the popular vote, the blue candidate would have won, even though most of the area of the country voted for the red candidate. Does that seem fair? The other thing about our country is we are not a direct democracy. At least on the federal level, we're not a direct democracy. Direct democracy means the majority wins, and that the majority gets the vote and gets the ideas out, and whoever votes for the most is the winner. But what the Founding Fathers wanted to do was to preserve the rights of the minority as well as the majority. Give them an equal say and an equal voice. Is the majority always right? Well, Leo Tolstoy, 19th century Russian author, says, "Wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it." Susie Kasem, an author, philosopher, says, "History honors the unique minority the majority cannot forget." So let's talk about some times where the majority was wrong. Let's look at California. The majority of Californians during Proposition 8 voted against the rights of same-sex couples to marry. There's one. For many, many years, blacks and women were prohibited from voting because an all-white majority said that they should not be allowed to vote. So there's a couple of times the majority has not been correct. I want to talk about a couple of areas where having the Electoral College actually saved our country. In the 1860 election, Abraham Lincoln running against three others. 60% of the country voted against Abraham Lincoln in his ideas. Now, Abraham Lincoln did win the popular vote in plurality, but still, if you add up all the amount of votes, he actually lost by 60%. However, he was able to maintain the Electoral College vote and became the president. 1876 election. This is during a time of Reconstruction. The Republican Rutherford Hayes lost the popular vote actually by 250,000 votes. Now, however, he was able to win the Electoral College 185 to 184, and Rutherford Hayes became the president. Had Tilden, the Southern Democrat, became president, that would have set civil rights backwards for emancipated slaves. So we can see in a couple of these elections that this was actually a good thing to have the Electoral College in place. So in review, I discussed why the Electoral College is a good thing, why the founders introduced it. We talked about the tyranny of the majority. We talked about it being a federal republic of states. Now I want to talk about an effort to undermine the Electoral College. And I think we should be concerned, because I think that if it's undermined, I think it could produce disastrous results for our country. Now to get rid of the Electoral College, you have to amend the Constitution. It takes a 2/3 votes from the Senate, it takes 2/3 vote from the House, and it also takes 38 states to ratify that and to take away the Electoral College in favor of something else. But there is an effort called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which is currently a number of states. There are currently 15 states that are all getting together, and they are deciding that whoever wins the popular vote, they will award their individual states' electors to that particular candidate. That will undermine the Electoral College and basically make it null and void. Now, there's a number of other states that are trying to get involved. Washington State is not currently in that. But let's look at this for example. Let's say you're a Democrat and most of Washington State votes Democrat. But the Republican candidate wins, even though your state voted for the Democrat. What that would mean is that Washington State would take all of its electorals and give it to the Republican candidate because he won the popular vote. Now, do you think that's fair? I think we should stick with the Electoral College. So, what I'm imploring you to do today is to let your representatives know that you believe in the Founding Fathers' original vision of the Electoral College. So I'm asking you to write your senators, to write your Congress, to write your local legislators, state legislators, and let them know that you want to keep the Electoral College. You can do it by email, you can do it by phone call, you can get on their Twitter account or Facebook pages and let them know. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for listening to this very important matter. Thank you very much.